Revenge, that's what this one's all about. As South Carolina comes to the Swamp this year, looking to get back at Coach KJ, who ran up the score on them last year in Columbia, as the Gators scored a touchdown with just a second or two left in the game to give themselves a 34-13 victory. Welcome into the Coach KJ dynasty, and we'll see if we can get another spectacular game against the Gamecocks. 2 years ago when they were in the Swamp, we ended up beating them in double overtime by going for two instead of settling for the extra point. Let's see if this one can live up to the hype, as Jensen Skalski's on the return here, and he has a little bit of space as two blockers were pancaked. He's out to the 30, he's out to the 40, he's out to the 50, one man to beat, and he can't do it. He's pushed out after a fantastic long return. We'll take that. That's a great way to start our day, as Dana Garcia remains our starting quarterback, but we're going to go to the ground to open up, and that did not work. Ladarius Marlowe was stuffed immediately. Last year, we had a lot of success on the ground against the Gamecocks. We were hoping to be able to carry that over into this one. We'll have to see if we can get it going. I think with the extra speed in the backfield, we'll be able to do even better on the ground. The other player that was able to burn the Gamecocks last year was tight end Kyle Hinder. He's no longer here, so I think we're going to have to maybe lean into Sam Freeman and see if he's going to be able to do the same type of damage against the Gamecocks, as this opening drive didn't go well, and we were forced to punt the ball to the Gamecocks pretty quickly. Matt Sharp's going to be their starting quarterback. He is not their normal starter. We're facing another backup. We'll have to see if that impacts the Gamecocks at all, as Jashawn Parker's going to get the pitch, and he finds some space. That's an 11-yard pickup. He was effective last year against us. He averaged just over 5 yards a carry, but the problem is South Carolina didn't lean into him at all, and that's where they made their mistakes. If they can do that, I think this game will be much closer than it was last year. Taking a look at our starting defense, J.J. White is going to tear him up again, I hope. Last year, he had 5 TFLs and 3 sacks against the Gamecocks, and I think coming into this one, there's no reason why he can't do that again. He is that dominant of a player, and I do think we have a better end on the other side in Norkeithius Moore this year, so I expect us to be able to dominate the Gamecocks, at least with our pass rush anyway. Norkeithius Moore was in the game last year, but he did get shaken up and he didn't finish the entire game. So that's why I'm saying, like, we have a new guy, even though he's a sophomore. As it's 3rd and 9, and Carter is going to break Nelson Lohman's tackle, stiff arm, and then run over a guy and get out to the 50 and pick up 20 and get the Gamecocks a first down. This right here shows just how tough they're going to be, as that's a handoff to Carter. That goes nowhere, actually. It loses one. Jared Wells on tackle there. Sharp's going to run a triple option and keep it himself. He might be able to get the first down, but he ends up a yard short. Tony Apu gets him down there. So they're probably going to go to the ground game here, and it's read option. Matt Sharp pulls it. Matt Sharp has the edge and gets the first down. He broke Nelson Lohman's tackle there. Are you kidding me? He ends up taking that for 11. I'll admit I did not expect that at all, as Sharp's going to go again to the triple option. This time he had an inside pitch as well. They end up not going anywhere. That goes backwards. It's a 5-yard loss. Our defense stepped up on that one. However, Matt Sharp finally throws it, and he finds Tanner Smith for 19, getting the Gamecocks all the way down to the 15-yard line as we send pressure at Sharp. And he's going to fumble it off the Jared Wells sack. That's recovered by none other than J.J. White. He always makes his presence felt against the Gamecocks. I don't know why he plays his best ball against them, but he always does. Now let's see if our offense can get some points and give us a lead in this one, as Garcia's moving, and he just misses there on 2nd and 3. Now it's 3rd down, and we're going to have to pass as Marlowe goes in motion. Garcia, feeling no pressure, has an open receiver. That's Jaden Norwood getting the first down. He picks up 9 there. This drive keeps on marching. I want to take a second here early in this one. I always talk about it, and I'm going to continue to talk about it. We have an EA Team Builder Dynasty coming out on the channel for the new College Football 25 video game coming out. I have the Indian River Bull Sharks as team name. We currently have voting on the channel for the logo, so guys, if you haven't checked that out, please go over to the community tab and vote for your favorite logo, because that's how I'm going to choose it. The most upvoted logo is going to be our logo. So guys, if you want your input in there, please go toss a vote in. And also, if you're still here, I want to thank you for watching. Please drop a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel. I'm just learning and doing my best here. Jensen Skalski is going to go in for the 13-yard touchdown, giving the Gators a 7-0 lead today. That's what we were looking for. As the Gamecocks take over, Matt Sharp was really productive on that first drive. Now we'll see if he can continue it. The only thing that happened was that fumble at the end, so let's see if he can avoid the turnover. Sharp's going to pitch it. That's Jashawn Parker with all sorts of space and 2 blockers. The Gators are in trouble on this one, but luckily Noah Enibagnam caught him from behind and took him down. That's a 15-yard gain, but I will take that short pickup as Sharp pulls it and tries to run. He got stuffed, man. That's Norkeithius Moore making his impact felt. That's going to be a TFL. Our defense has been the biggest reason we are 9-0 this season, and that starts up front with J.J. White, Norkeithius Moore, Stuart McCaffrey, and Jacob Reese. As Matt Sharp's looking to pass, that's going to be completed. Jeremiah Jones, they call that a fumble. It's recovered by Poydras. But I got to be honest with you, I don't see this one standing. It looked like he was laying on the ground when that ball came out. Poydras running down there. It says 2 turnovers. Let's see if they challenge it. And they do, and honestly, I have yeah, that's easily going to be Gamecocks ball still. That's not a fumble. There's no way that play can be upheld. And we were right. Back to the Gamecocks. This defense, though, has been incredible. Let's see if they can keep it up and help power us to a 10-0 start. Jashawn Parker picks up 7 there. So 2nd and 3, Parker goes in motion. They're going to run triple option, and that's Sharp going down. That's Jared Wells getting him from behind, forcing a 3rd and 7 for the Gamecocks. Sharp moving in the pocket, feeling pressure, and down he goes. That's J.J. White getting the sack and backing the Gamecocks up and forcing them to settle for a very long field goal that is up, and it is short. I'm not surprised. I didn't think he had the leg for that one. Florida getting one play in before the end of the first quarter. They go down the field, and that's Sam Freeman picking up 25. The tight ends have made an impact against the Gamecocks, and we got to remember that and keep them involved in the game plan, as it's 7-0 Florida here after one. I think this could get out of hand again. It feels like the Gators are actually really in control of this one. Even though South Carolina did move the ball, they've almost fumbled it twice. It just feels like they're destined to lose this game, as Marlowe's going to take that for 17 to begin the second quarter. I would say the Gators are easily in field goal position as they go back to Marlowe, and he's going to pick up just about 7-8 yards there. That's a great rush. You can feel his speed and burst as he gets past the line of scrimmage. I wish he was just a little better at breaking tackles, as Marlowe gets another carry, gets a first down there. That's a 6-yard pickup. Once again, goes down on first contact, though, as Garcia's looking to pass on 1st and goal. Pump fake, and he takes a sack. Honestly, that was user error. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know why I kept pump faking it there. Garcia looking to pass on 2nd and goal, and man, we got lucky. That should have been picked by Marlon Jennings. Thankfully, he just dropped it, swatted it down. We'll take it. We go to the screen game, though, on 3rd and goal. Ladarius Marlowe finding a little bit of space. One man to beat, and he couldn't do it. He goes down after picking up 9. That's okay, though. We will settle for 3 here. The kick's up. The kick's good. Joshua Williams is a great kicker, as the Gators are going to take a 10-0 lead here today. And with the Gamecocks wanting to run the ball so much, this drive is very important to them. If they want to be able to stick to that game plan, they're going to need to get into the end zone. A field goal, honestly, is okay, I guess, but that's even worst case scenario almost for them. Like, that's just barely better than not getting any points at all. As Sharp tries to run here, and he's bottled up. They're backed up now. It's 3rd and 16. Narkitius Moore on the tackle there. That's a great play for us. So now the Gamecocks have to pass, and this is not where they're at their most comfortable, as, you know, that's another pass underneath. Jeremiah Jones picks up 9, but ultimately that just leads to a punt, and Macario Dorba almost had a great play to start it off, but he couldn't hold on through contact. So Garcia back to the passing game, finds Logan Houston at the sticks this time. 1st down, Gators. That's an 11-yard pickup. Back to the ground game, I hope, here, and that's exactly what we do, as Murphy gets a carry, breaks a tackle, and another guy came in a little too quick. We didn't have a blocker in time. So 2nd and 9. That's okay. Garcia going down the field. There's a wide open Jensen Skalski, who's down to the 35. That's a 19-yard gain for the Gators. What a pass there, as they're going to go back to their ground game, and Murphy's bottled up. He's fighting. He managed to pick up 4. But that was not a great carry. We're going to go right back to him, and this time it looks like it's blocked so much better. He ends up finding some space. That's a 12-yard pickup. So Garcia's going to pass now at about the 20-yard line. He goes towards the end zone, and that's going to be caught by Logan Houston. He goes out of bounds at the 2-yard line, though. So back to the passing game, and that's just a miss. Macario Dorba was open. Garcia couldn't get it to him. Murphy gets the carry, and he goes in for 6. Touchdown, Florida. It's going to be 17-0 here today in the second quarter. Like I said, the Gamecocks are in trouble now. They have to pass the ball. I don't think this rushing attack is going to get them back in the game, because honestly, it hasn't been that effective, as Matt Sharp ends up losing 2 here. And honestly, that's basically how this rushing attack's been going since the opening drive, as Sharp's got to pull it here. This time he pitches it out there. That's Carter finding a little bit of space after breaking a tackle. He's out to the 35. He's out to the 40, and he gets knocked out at about the 45-yard line. That's a 23-yard pickup. That's a solid one. Matt Sharp on the read option pulls it. He's going to get the edge. Nobody's over there. His guys are blocked up. Noah Eni Bogdan was our last hope. And it actually ends up Tony Apu getting up off the ground to make the tackle on that play. So Sharp passing here. He finds Hodges. That's a big 10-yard pickup. He took a hit at the end of that one. I'm surprised he was able to hold on to it. We send a little pressure at Sharp, and it doesn't matter. He ends up checking it down underneath for no gain. So Sharp passing here on 2nd and 10. Nope, he's going to tuck and run. Nelson Lohman makes the hit, and he's going to drop him. That's a 5-yard pickup, bringing up 3rd and 5 now for the Gators. Let's see what they can do. Sharp is going to run a screen, and that is stopped. They couldn't even get the pass off, so they're going to attempt another crazy long field goal. It's up, and it's no good. I didn't see them making that at all. I don't think their kicker has quite 55-yard range here. Maybe I'm wrong, as we find Macario Dorba down the seam for a huge gain. 49 seconds left in the half. Garcia looking to pass, feeling some pressure, getting on the move, just throw it away. and he throws it down the field. That should have been picked. We got lucky there. 2nd and 10, 43 seconds. Garcia going down the seam, and that also should have been picked. Freeman was well covered there. 3rd down now for Garcia, looking to pass, and he's going to take a shot one-on-one towards the end zone. Jaden Norwood couldn't come down with it. Marlon Jennings swatted it away from him. So 4th down, and we're going to go for it with 35 seconds left. That's a shock. We find Freeman, and he can't hold on through contact. That's going to give the Gamecocks a chance with 33 seconds left in the half. Matt Sharp passing underneath. That's Parker coming down with it. It's only a 4-yard pickup. That's just not a good play. But they're down to 28 seconds. Let's see what Sharp can do now. He's in the pocket, feeling pressure on the move, and he checks it down to Parker again. What are you doing, man? That's terrible. 3rd and 5, 11 seconds left in the half. They finally take a shot. They complete it to Dalton Reeder. 9 seconds. They are in position where they might be able to get a field goal off, and they hand it off to Carter. What are they doing? He finds a little bit of space, though. Carter all the way down to like the 19-yard line, maybe the 20. That's going to set him up in field goal range. The kick is up. The kick's good. It's going to be 17-3 as we head into halftime. I got to be honest with you, I do not understand that sequence by South Carolina. It was a really poor decision in my opinion, to run that ball. It was just a bad idea. I don't understand what they were doing. And as you can see, South Carolina's normal starting quarterback was Kyle Beach as we show off injuries. I'm really disappointed I didn't get to play against Kyle Beach. If anybody followed Coach KJ at the early stages, he started off at Penn State as their offensive coordinator, and Kyle Beach was a true freshman quarterback that came in who was a 59 overall that we ended up having to use following an injury to Drew Aller. And then Bo Pribula was our backup. He was our 3rd string quarterback, so he was all we had, and he played some games for us, and he was actually really good, so I was hoping to get to take him on. He's developed into a solid quarterback. He might even be the type that gets into our NFL draft class, and honestly, I didn't expect that, and there's a chance we'll see him in Madden. He probably won't be very good if he does, but I really did not expect it out of him, so I was quite disappointed that we didn't get to play him here today. But on to the second half here. Carter's going to get a carry for South Carolina. That's a pretty good one up the middle. That goes for 6. That could get South Carolina back in this game. A touchdown on this drive will go a long way towards accomplishing that goal, as Felder is going to get the quick little pass, and he's dropped for 4 yards. That wasn't a good play. Now it's 3rd and 8 for South Carolina, and they find Felder, and he's going to come up a yard short. The Gators defense gets the stop they need to begin the second half. Now our offense has a chance to pull away even further as Ladarius Marlowe gets a carry. That one only goes for 3. So what do we do here in the pistol? We're going to go right back to Marlowe. He gets the edge with his speed. One man to beat. He turns it up and trucks him. That's a solid 10-yard rush. I definitely expected him to try to beat him to the edge. It was nice to see him show a little power on that play as Garcia's looking to pass. He just checks it down. That's Freeman underneath, picking up what he can. We'll take 3 yards. It's better than nothing there. So out of the gun, Murphy's in the game beside Garcia, and Garcia's going to pass, and Norwood makes that reception. It's 3rd and inches. That was a great pass by Dana Garcia. That was an NFL level type play. He threw that before he was open, and then he pulls it on a read option, and he finds probably 20 yards and slides down for the first down. Dana Garcia's having himself a good day today as he finds Tommy Taylor the second. That's going to set up 1st and goal after picking up 13 yards. To the ground game again, Ladarius Marlowe, and he goes in. Touchdown, Florida. It's 24-3 here midway through the 3rd quarter. Florida's well on their way to improving to 10-0 on the season. This is exciting, man. We have a strong chance to make the playoffs, and it looks like we're pretty much locked up for the SEC East if we win this game. I don't even think if we lose to Alabama, we'll lose the SEC East. That's the crazy part. But we're going to get some pressure in here on Sharp, and he's going to fumble the ball. That's picked up by Exelholm. He is going to the end zone. Touchdown, Florida. This is a 31-3 game now with 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. It's officially a blowout, and the Gators can celebrate heading to the SEC championship game. That's so amazing. I am shocked that we were able to get there just because of the way things have gone for us in this series. I was really questioning whether we could, as we've had to fight through some adversity this season. Luckily, we haven't been down in so many games. We've actually had quite a few blowouts this year, and this is just another one of them. So let's see if we can keep it up and just finish dominating the Gamecocks today, as there's 3 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. In the gun, Sharp looking to pass here. Feeling a little bit of pressure, moving around the pocket. He drops the ball. I guess they actually call that an incompletion. To me, that looked like a fumble all day. I don't know how they called that incomplete. Then he misses here, so now it's 3rd and 10 for the Gamecocks. They're going to fake a bubble screen and then throw it to the backside. Felder is wide open, and he breaks Akeel Wesley's tackle. Gets a few extra yards, knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line, giving the Gamecocks a 1st down as he goes down the field, and that's Felder again holding on. That's a tough catch. He took that for 10 yards. Sharp passing here again to the outside, and that's going to be Tanner Smith holding on for the 4-yard gain. They send their tight end in motion. This looks like it's easily going to be a pass. Sharp feeling a little pressure, and he still found Reeder open underneath. That's 4 yards more. He's been pretty efficient on this drive. They're moving the ball pretty quick, as that's going to be a triple option, and Sharp keeps it, and he will not get the first down. It's 4th and inches. What'll the Gamecocks do? Well, they decide let's go for it. They're going to just hand it off to Carter. That's an easy conversion. He picked up extra yardage there. We didn't even stand a chance of stopping him by the looks of that one, as Sharp hands it again to Carter on a read option right up the middle, and that's going to go for 7. They might actually score a touchdown on this drive. I still say the game's over, as woo, he got blown up. That's Nathan Osborne depleting him on that play. So Sharp's going to pass here. He fakes a little bubble, and he's caught. That's an incompletion, luckily. He was supposed to throw that bubble, but he's seen better. He should have just thrown it away quicker. That was nearly a fumble, as they will settle for the field goal this time, making the score 31-6. Third quarter's almost over. This is probably the last play. Ladarius Marlowe is going to take it for 6 yards, and he gets shaken up. That's the one downfall with Marlowe. He seems to always get hurt, so we end up having to run an extra play in the third quarter, and we find Macario Dorba for 13 on the sideline. That is going to end the third quarter. It's 31-6 Gators. Like I said, this one's over. With this victory, we're going to win the SEC East, and we're going to have to focus on being able to win and take care of business in a couple of basically meaningless games at the end of the year for everything other than our national title hopes. Like, we obviously have to win them and be able to win the championship game to get a first-round bye, which would be incredible in the playoffs. But if we're not smart, and we could drop the last few games seeing that we already achieved one of our goals. Macario Dorba coming down with the tough catch there, though. That's for 23 yards. Man, that was a big play, as we're going to go to Jackson on the ground. He's going to go, and he gets the edge. Touchdown, Florida. Darian Jackson with the 17-yard score. 38-6 is going to be your score here early in the fourth quarter. The Gators are blowing them out here. That was a nice play, though, by Darian Jackson. Sharp handing it off to Parker to begin the next drive, who finds a little bit of space, but he didn't go far. That's a nice tackle right there. 2nd and 6, they're going to go back to Parker. It looks like South Carolina is just trying to see what they have on offense. As J.J. White goes down the field and makes the tackle, he caught him from behind. That just shows the level of athleticism that he has. Sharp looking to pass here. That was nicely knocked out by Akil Wesley. What a play by our defender there. Sharp passing again in the pocket, feeling no pressure, and he finds Smith, who's open for a 9-yard pickup. That's still going to bring up a 3rd and 1, though, so they go back to their old trusty triple option, and Sharp's blown up by J.J. White. That's a 4-yard loss. That forces the Gamecocks to punt the ball back to the Gators. And as you can see, the Gators brought out their backup quarterback and a lot of their backup players. Khalif Ramsey's out here hitting Jaden Norwood. On the next play, that was nearly picked. He's got to be smarter with the ball. Back to the ground game. Darian Jackson goes backwards. That's a 6-yard loss right there. So now on 3rd and 16, we have to pass. Ramsey in the pocket, throwing it down underneath. Smart, find Jackson, get the completion, take the yard, punt the ball back to the Gamecocks. This one's over. So I like the better decision-making that we've seen out of Khalif Ramsey. You know, he already has some turnovers this year when he's had his limited playing time, just trying to be too aggressive. So I actually think that was growth on that play, as Parker breaks a tackle and falls ahead. He is like tripping over himself for 13 yards there. That was a nice pickup. Sharp running a screen out there. That's Parker, one man to beat, and he beats him. That's going to be a pretty good pickup of 8 as Tobridge, and I believe that's Poydras combined to take him down there. They're going to move their tight end in motion on 2nd and 2. 3.5 minutes left in this game. Sharp checking it down to an open, Nodelman, I guess is maybe his name. That's a 6-yard pickup and a Gamecocks first down. Sharp is able to move the ball pretty well here against our backups, as he finds Carter, who gets some space up the middle for a 17-yard reception. We got to see some better play out of our backup linebackers and backup D-line. That's the strength of our starting rotation, so we want to see our backups come in and be the strength, as Sharp's breaking out of tackles there before tripping up and only picking up 5. I thought that might have been a touchdown on that one, as Sharp throws it, and that's nearly intercepted right there. Max Pierre was back out in the field, and he almost made the play there. Wide receiver screen, and that's Daryl Merringer picking it off. He read that the entire way. What a play by our 4th or 5th corner. Wow, man, that's great, and that's what we needed. Getting the ball back. Let's see what our offense can do as we wrap this game up. Khalif Ramsey's going to pull it on a read option and take that for 6 yards. That's a solid pickup. I hope we start draining the clock soon, because we didn't do it here, as we go to Darian Jackson, who jukes, and that's going to be a 6-yard pickup as well, getting a first down. That'll stop the clock. We're going to snap it with 17 seconds left, and we end up going backwards. That's a 4-yard loss. Let's be smart here and just run the clock out. No need to try to run up the scores. Jackson's going to get a carry juke, and he takes that for 9 yards. you know, like I said, we got to run this clock down as it's now 3rd down, and we're going to check it down to Darian Jackson for a 4-yard gain. So 4th and 2, what are we going to do? Well, we decide let's go for this. Why not? The game's over. We have an open receiver underneath, and why is Khalif Ramsey taking that shot? That's another interception right there. That should not have happened. We had an open receiver underneath. Why would he not take that? That's a frustration with him. So the Gamecocks, we end up stopping them, and they're going to punt it with 3 seconds left. And Jensen Skalski's going to bust out of there. Skalski on the punt return to the 40, to the 31 man to beat. He gets around the punter. That's going to be a punt return to end the game for a touchdown by Jensen Skalski. That's going to be 45-6 now is your final. Skalski ends up being your player of the game with 215 all-purpose yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 on a punt return, 1 on a receiving score that you see right here, as this was a blowout. The Gamecocks came in wanting to get revenge after last year's score being run up, and, you know, they didn't have it. They just were not good enough today. The Gators are clearly the better team this year, and honestly, they've been pretty much the better team all season long with all of our opponents. They have an excellent team this year. Things are going well. Even with our turnover difficulties this year, I'm surprised at how well we're able to play. Another blowout victory. Dana Garcia's been good. He was actually really good today and efficient. You know, we lost Ladarius Marlowe again to another injury. Hopefully he's back next week. He's a great player, but he cannot stay on the field, and that's one big problem with him. I hope that he can manage to keep himself healthy the rest of the way, because at the end of the day, I think he's going to remain our starter at this point. He is our starter going forward, even when Gayassi Blanks returns, hopefully for the playoffs. As long as we don't screw this up, we'll be in the playoffs, and Blanks will be back to help us on the closing stretch of this season. But like I said, if we're not smart with Ladarius Marlowe, and if we don't have Ladarius Marlowe out there, we're going to be a little bit worse on offense. He's actually added a fantastic element. Our ground game stepped up since he's been out there, and he is a great player for us. He's somebody that we really want to lean on, but you can't give him too many carries or else he does get hurt. So we just have to be conscious of that and really think about it as we're going through the cycles of each game and make sure we're giving him breaks and being, basically just smarter overall. We need him out there, so we got to make sure we keep him healthy. As we're taking a look at a top 25 poll here, Ohio State is currently at number 1. Oklahoma moved up from 3 to 2 with their victory over Texas A&M, dropping us to number 3, even though we convincingly blew out South Carolina. I'll be honest with you, I think that's kind of BS, and that's going to be our opponent in the SEC championship game, so that'll basically work itself out. The winner of that game will be the higher seed anyway, so I guess I shouldn't be too frustrated. I just think it's kind of BS. We dropped down a spot. We did end up having a bye week, so we advanced to the next week, and as you can see, Drake Basaka is your leader for the Heisman Trophy still, followed by Kevin Stewart. Kevin Wolf of Washington moves in to the 3rd spot. Jale Atwell drops to number 4, the halfback out of Miami. We recruited him. And then at 5 is Jonathan Palmer, the QB of Stanford. He's had a really good year. Taking a look at the college football playoff rankings here. Following that bye week, Ohio State's 1, Oklahoma's 2. We're at 3. Miami's 4. 5's Fresno State. Who would have ever guessed that? They're going to be the at-large team, basically the team that gets in from the group of 5. They're having themselves a fantastic season. We'll have to see if they can finish strong, though. It's totally up to them. If they drop a game, there's a chance they could fall out. You never know. These things can be kind of tough. But our next game's against Alabama, and we all know Alabama's the better team. But the thing is, they're 4-3 in the conference. They haven't really had the great year. Their overall is better than ours. We score more points a game than them, but they do pretty much everything else on offense better. They get more yards and all that, but on defense, we're the better team. So hopefully that's what ends up mattering, is our defense is better and we score more points. So we'll have to see. Alabama's a tough opponent, though. Every time we play them, it's kind of a pain in the butt, and I expect them to give us another headache once again. But I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm LDJ11. We're going to wrap up conference play in the next episode, so hopefully you guys are excited for that, and then we'll have Florida State, and we'll be on to the championship game. Have a great day, and we'll be back with more Coach KJ soon. I'm out.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a